Hi, it's Mitch, and it is Wednesday, December 26, 2018, here with your free live show. Of course, we're here live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Do at least 3 free picks. Of course, we have free picks on every single game, every single day at sportschatplace.com. Our best bets always over at sportschatexperts.com, where it's best bets for myself and some of the other top handicappers in the world today. Of course, got pretty good action today. We're not back in full swing, but got college football. Got 3 games going on today, and a bunch of NBA games. I think 10 NBA games on the card. I know when I looked last night, there's 3 games where lines weren't out yet, so probably feature those on the show today, unless I see something I have to put in as a premium pick, and then in which case I will do that. College football, I have picks on 2 of the games in the premium area. I have 4 NBA picks in there as well. Of course, that's where you can always find my best bets. The show is on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitter Periscope. Of course, if you're watching, you already know that. Hopefully you guys had a good holiday. You're ready to get back in gear before we hit New Year's. Of course, the next few days, pretty good college football action. Heading into the 29th, which is Saturday, where we have the college football playoff games, and then Sunday, the final day of the NFL season. Still a little bit to be decided there. A little chicken left on the bone. Sometimes we head into the final week of the NFL season, and there's nothing there at all. Sometimes there's one game that's meaningful, but here we have a bunch that, gonna have some sort of meaning, and, some teams, playoff spots actually being decided. But, there's every game is a playoff game. Every game is, and it just goes to show you how close it comes in the end of the year. One game, half game, whatever, is going to decide these things. It's means that somewhere along the lines, one of those games that was lost or won was a playoff game. But, anyways, of course, our best bets over at sportschatexperts.com and sportschatplace.com. Premium and Premium Plus. I don't say that people have to do that or anything, but hopefully you guys have checked out my record recently over at sportschatexperts.com. Been knocking the cover off the ball as far as the premium picks go. Don't win every single game, that's for sure, but they've strung together a solid month. And then some. Of course, this is my time of year. I say it every year, and I usually back it up. This is when the books normally clean up, is college football bowl season, NFL playoffs. This is when we normally do some heavy damage as well. We, last year was the same thing. NFL got it rolling late for all the way through the playoffs. I'm surprised the Steelers are even in position to be in the playoffs. So, me. Who would have thought me. That's who. And if you listen to our NFL preview shows before the season started, you would have heard me say that. That we saw the writing on the wall in Pittsburgh last year when they got waxed by Jacksonville twice. I mean, those were games they were not even close. I was surprised Ben Roethlisberger even came back this season. So I'm not surprised one bit. Who would have thought? We would have. You're too busy probably reading your own picks. And I read all of your guys' picks in the Facebook group every day. Read all of them. I don't always agree with you guys, but I read them all. I don't always comment on all of them, but I certainly read every single one of them. So, I know a lot of you guys never listen to what anybody else has to say. And I think some of your picks show. Like today, a lot of people, they don't even do the bare minimum research to know that the today's game, the Armed Forces Bowl, is being played in the Cotton Bowl Stadium, which is the Texas State Fairgrounds, where the Oklahoma-Texas game is played every year. It's not played at Jerry's World, which is not the Cotton Bowl Stadium. It's AT&T Stadium, which is weird because it's stated pretty much everywhere where that game is being played. It's outdoors. Big-time windstorm supposedly today in Texas. At least that's what I read in the Facebook group. I got to go with the guys who are the locals. And, I was leaning to that game on the under to begin with. 11-1 doesn't get it done in the parlay. It might as well be 1-11. Counts the same. But let's say that, I was leaning towards the under in this game for good reason. What we have here is A.J. Dillon, who's really, when he's healthy, he's one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the country. I definitely think he's better than Bryce Love, who got all the preseason love from everybody. But I thought A.J. Dillon was the better back to begin with, at the beginning of the season. But what we have here is we have a Boise State run defense that's ranked 22nd in the country, so they're pretty good. I think, in college football, in the NFL, if you're ranked 20th, well, it's out of 32 teams, but in college football, if you're ranked 20th, it's out of, 130 teams. So big difference between the 22nd ranked run defense in the NFL and in college football. And you guys know when you look at these rankings, sometimes it's a yard or two or half a yard that, that separates them out. So 22nd is damn good in college football, and I expect Boise to stack against the run here against Boston College and force the quarterback to throw. And we've seen nothing but inconsistent play, especially on the road from the quarterback position at Boston College, like we saw at Purdue earlier this season, throwing a 40-mile-an-hour wind, and he's going to have some problems. On the other side of it, on Boise, they have a good running back too. They have a solid running game as well in Boise, and I expect them to lean on the run as well with Madison. Madison doesn't get the ink that some of these other running backs get, but he had 1,415 yards this season in 13 games, 302 attempts, 4.7 yards a carry. That's over 100 yards a game, 108 to be exact. So they can run the ball as well, and they're going to try and run the ball too, because in a 40-mile-an-hour wind, I don't know if I trust Rippon to be throwing the ball around. And I'm not as big a fan of Rippon as a lot of people out there have been this season, but I'll tell you, I don't trust him to be throwing the ball in a 40-mile-an-hour wind. So I'm expecting this game to go under. I know it's dropped from 55 to 51, and that's 100% weather-related, and I'm going to guess that if we can get it at 51 in that range, it's still going to be a bargain, because I think points are going to be very, very tough to come by. They're going to be on the ground, and I think even field goals are going to be difficult in these types of conditions. There's no tougher conditions than wind. There's no tougher in football than wind. Snow and rain and all that other stuff, throw it all out the window. Put in a 40-mile-an-hour wind, it is the toughest of the toughest conditions. This game goes under. Boise, Boston College, that's our first pick of today's show. I really like that one too. I'm going to bet it myself. Generally on these free picks, I don't bet a ton of them, but I'll bet some. I'll talk myself into it on the show, just like we go through them. But generally, my best bets are over at sportschatexperts.com, and those are the picks that I bet. Those are my best bets. But of course, we do at least 3 free picks on this show every single day. We do, the dog of the day is also a free pick, and, it's not one of my best bets. It's an underdog that I do. Some people can never really figure that out. They think the dog of the day is one of my best bets, but basically, it's got to be an underdog. It's a free pick. That means after the premium pick. So it's like it could be all the premium picks. And then, I might like 5 favorites in a row after that. Then that dog of the day. It could be my 25th ranked pick of the day, depending on the schedule. But anyways, we'd always try and win them all. But it doesn't mean my confidence in those picks is as high. Yeah, it's... Anyways, we do at least 3 free picks every single day. So I always have one jerk on YouTube. Today's jerk is Justin Wynn. I think Wynn is like Smith. I know a lot of people last name Win. That same spelling. Anyways. No, I would say the dog of the day is I go through bad runs with it. I go through good runs with it. It's the leftovers, and then it has to be an underdog. So it's like, the bigger the schedule, generally the better it's going to be, the higher quality it's going to be. But in all cases, it's a pick that wasn't good enough to be a premium pick. So it is what it is. But anyways. Let's look at this Cal TCU game. I don't have any premium pick on this game. But the total in this one is set at 38. TCU getting a point in this one with 40% of the bets being made on Cal. This is just a really, really tough game. I just could not make heads or tails of it because neither of these teams have shown any kind of consistency at all. The Cal coach, this is only his second year, so we don't even know how he performs in bowl games. Meanwhile, Gary Patterson is 10-5 in his career in bowl games. I have to think that he puts it together for this one, but that inverse line movement definitely scares me. So I think in this one, you've got to go back to the total. The total is set at 38 in this. Maybe it goes over, and that'll be my pick in the Cheez-It Bowl, which is really a horrible bowl game. I think that tomorrow's bowl game's much, much better than today's, and I will have strong picks in at least two of those games. The other one, of course, Miami's playing, so it's hard for me to give a very confident pick in that game. But we'll go with the over in TCU Cal because the 38 just seems like such a long number. Yeah, if you have picks, the place to post those is not on my videos. It's to do it in our Facebook group because we provide that space for you. Basically, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day to do the videos here. So this is where I get to give out my free picks. But if you want to do your free picks, what you should do, Brandon Cuffey, is you should create a YouTube channel and do a show just like I do. You could either do recorded videos on YouTube, which I've done for over 10 years, and or you could do a live show like I've been doing since they've had live on YouTube, which is a few years. But or you can create a web page or do both like I've done and give out your picks there, or create your own Facebook group and give your picks out there. Or the way that I started doing is I started it as a newsletter and I just sent out my picks to my friends. So you have all sorts of ways to give out your picks. You could also do it in our Facebook group. You're more than welcome to post them there. But when it comes to these videos, these are my picks. So if you want to give out yours, the place to do it is on your show or in our Facebook group. Say it every day. Try to say it in the nicest way possible. It's not an ego thing. It has nothing to do with it. It's just, if I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do this stuff, then this is my show, and I'm not willing to give up the mic. But anyways, Blue is saying an honest man is an easy target. That is the truth. That is the absolute truth. That if you're transparent, which not too many of us are here on the internet, a lot of people talk about their days yesterday. They talk about what happened yesterday, and of course they like to be selective and pick out the winning days or the winning picks, or apply some kind of weird unit system where their one winner counts 10 times more than their 6 losers. Then you're at the wrong place. Every one of us, our picks at sportschatplace.com Premium Plus is documented, and of course you can go back and see any of those. Go all the way back to the beginning of the site. They all count exactly the same, whether it's my 10-star play of the year or whether it's a game that I just put out because I want the premium members to have a pick on a big game. They all count the same. Anyways, we've got at least 3 free picks every single day. And we will move to the NBA. Pretty good card in the NBA today. A lot of teams in action. got kind of an odd line here with the Heat taking on the Raptors. The Raptors, 25-10, while the Heat 16-16, but the Heat have been playing extremely well recently. Just getting 3.5 points here at home, where they're 7-9 against the number, while the Raptors just 9-9 against the spread on the road, 4-6 against the spread in their last 10, but the Heat 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. When you look at the Raptors Heat game, and 66% of the public bets here on the Raptors, you think, man, touchdown favorite, right? 7 points, 6.5 range. But what we're seeing is a line that went from 5 to 3.5. I think for good reason. I like the Miami Heat here. I'll take my 3.5 points in the Miami Heat, and that'll be our third pick for today's show. Of course, our best bets over at sportschatexperts.com. Where it's best bets for myself and some of the other top handicappers in the world today. But it's under in the first responders bowl. Let me check. I'm just writing down the picks so when I do the recap at the end of the show, I think that what we're going to do is we're going to just do this guy. Get some nerves. Anyways, we do free-for-all Fridays, meaning that's the day that if you have questions on a specific game, during our show, that you can ask that. But the rest of the days, I kind of just pick out a few games and give out picks. We do at least 3 free picks every single day. We're not going to change that format for anybody unless we change it for everybody. So those of you that want special treatment probably come to the wrong place. Anyways, we got the Bulls taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Bulls with Markkanen back in the lineup are a lot better team than they are without him. I know Bobby Portis is still out, and the Bulls, they still have their share of problems, but they're taking on a Timberwolves team that's just 6-10 against the number on the road. While the Bulls surprisingly 9-8 against the spread at home, 5-5 against the spread in their last 10. Both these teams are. But if you're watching us on YouTube, if you hit that thumbs up, it would be appreciated. I'm not going to hold you hostage like the other guys do and say, if you don't hit the thumbs up, I'm not going to give you the pick. I'll wait till I have 62 thumbs up till we give the pick. I don't do that sort of thing. I'm just going to ask you if you enjoy watching the live show, hit the thumbs up. If you're a troll, hit the thumbs down. We always have a few of those every day too. It keeps the show light. It's like, I'm getting free stuff, and I'm showing up and sitting here watching it, but I hate it. It's like, it doesn't even make any sense. It's like it's the dumbest thing. It's not the dumbest thing ever, but we'll just put it on the list of stupid things. It's like I'm sitting here watching a free show of my own free will to do this, but I hate it. It's like, what's the point? Doesn't even make any sense. Anyways, I like the Bulls in this, and I'll take my 4.5 points. I know the public hates this one, which is just right for me. Anyways, we took the under in the First Responders Bowl. That's the Boise State Boston College game. We took the over in the Cheez-It Bowl, which is Cal against TCU. I honestly can't figure that game out for the life of me. The Cheez-It Bowl. I cannot figure out, looking at these two teams, the only angle that I could possibly see is that Gary Patterson is 10-5 in bowl games. It's the only angle there is in this entire game. Both these teams have fallen flat on their face in step-up games, and both these teams have also stepped up in spots where you would never think that they would play well. TCU at the beginning of the season when they took on Ohio State, I thought they really had a chance, but just hasn't been that kind of season for TCU. It's been a 500 season. Cal, like that game against Stanford, I still can't figure out how they were never even in the game, But anyways, I took the over in that game. I think it goes to overtime, and that's why I'm going to take the over. Took the Miami Heat plus 3.5 at home against the Raptors, and we took the Chicago Bulls plus 4.5 at home against the Minnesota Timberwolves. course, we'll be back tomorrow. It's an odd week, right? It's Wednesday, but it doesn't even. If anyone would ask me what day of the week today is, I would never guess Wednesday. It doesn't feel like one, but it is. But anyways, this is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Thank you guys for joining me. I know you have a lot of options when it comes to free picks, but I'm glad you guys keep us in the rotation. Have a great day, everyone.